Did you used to ride back when you were in your teens or 20s, but now it's 20, 30 years later and you want to ride basic trails with your spouse, your kids, your grandkids, but you get exhausted really quickly within like 20 minutes of riding? Maybe you realize that you need to learn proper techniques to reduce the amount of energy that you use while riding. But when watching YouTube videos and then going out to try and practice these techniques on the trails, you find that it's hard to grasp and hard to implement, especially when you're older and don't quite have the balance or the strength that you used to. Well, this is because you can't teach an old dog new tricks. Or can you? The reason why it's exhausting to ride and you don't lack the confidence on the trails is because you haven't learned the fundamental techniques. And even if you've learned some proper techniques from these YouTube videos, which there's a lot of good coaches out there that are very good riders, but sometimes they don't explain things in a way that's easy to understand or easy to implement. So why is it hard to actually use the proper techniques when you go out onto the trail? Well, it's because you haven't built up your muscle memory. And when you haven't built up the muscle memory to use the techniques to ride with control on the trails, you have to think about what you're doing. And if you have to think about it, it's too late and it's hard to stay relaxed when you're riding tense and worried about what you should do with your body, whether you should sit or stand, how much throttle and clutch you need to apply, when to use the brakes. Take, for example, if you have like a favorite mug that you use in the kitchen and it's in the same spot every time, but for some reason your loving wife decides to change that location of said mug. The next time you go to grab it, you're like, where did my mug go? And then your wife says that, oh, it's over here. So she changed the location of that mug, and then the next 17 times you go and try and find it, you have to think about it and be like, all right, where was it again? But after you do it so many times, you start to build up that muscle memory by repetition. You remember where it is, so you don't even have to think about it. You just go open up the cabinet and, oh, it's right there, and you just do your thing. The same goes for riding a dirt bike. If you haven't practiced the proper techniques with repetition and intentionality, it takes a lot longer to use the techniques to ride with control without thinking about them. And if you want to build up your muscle memory to have more skills and confidence on the trails, but you work 40 plus hours or have a long commute or it takes 2+ hours to ride to the trails, you should check out this video here on how to advance your trail riding skills. I'm Kelly Fager from Motocross Hideout. Learn more, ride more.